Hey, mail call. Pretty cool one too. I got a package recently. Actually, day before yesterday, I received a package and I opened it, and it is really cool. And I would like to share it with you. Uh, my buddy Brandon Jensen, top loaded, he sent me something, and I really like it. So I met Brandon through the kind of the circle of friends, the community of collectors, starting with a surfer, Barry Berry, collectaholic. I came across Brandon Jensen. That has expanded further since I found those guys. And when I was a kid in the 60s and 70s, I collected football and baseball cards. And those were lost somewhere along the way in the mid 1970s during a move. Our family moved, and my cards got left behind. But in the 90s, I collected some cards again. My wife and I enjoyed doing that together, actually. Like she would come home from Walmart and say, I bought you a couple of packs of cards, and we would sit down and open them together. And that was cool, but I really haven't been into that since the 90s. And I'm kind of into the vinyl records thing now. I'm not going to start collecting cards again, but I enjoy those channels. And they don't just do cards. Sometimes it's some die cast stuff and other collectibles. And the cards aren't just sports cards. Amazingly to me, there's Cabbage Patch. They probably are Cabbage Patch Kids. And Pokemon and the Garbage Pail Kids. That's the ones I was thinking of. I think those are so funny. And there's rock and roll cards and you name it, they got cards for it. And anyway, so in the package, just to start off with, Brandon sent me a sticker, a top loaded, very cool sticker. Also, not just a sticker, it's his card. It has Brandon Jensen top loaded up there. And then his mantra, his motto, you won't be pissed. And after you see what he sent me, you'll understand why I'm not pissed. And it's freaking awesome. So I'll show you first. Here's the box that I opened. So just you see the size. And I did peek inside, and I suspected once I saw what was inside that it was going to take a little bit of assembly. This is the box, and I'm going to talk more about that. You might see at the top right there, it says Donnie Shots. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Donnie Shots here in just a second. And first of all, a sneak peek of what's in that box. After maybe took about 5 minutes to put the attachments, the wings on and everything. It's that, and I'll show you that further. That's just a sneak peek. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk about Donnie Shots right quick. A couple of things came together during the unboxing of this and the reading of the note. And I know, look behind me. You know, somehow Brandon figured out that I like dirt racing. Specifically, well, my favorite type of racing is super late models. I watch World of Outlaws super late models and the Lucas Oil super late models. Those are the two big series that I stream. There are streaming services where you can watch this stuff quite a bit. And then also Outlaw Sprint Cars, if you've ever heard of them. They're some wild racing. And my buddy, the Sock Monkey, and other friends go to in March of each year near me, about I'd say 45 minutes away, is the Cotton Bowl Speedway. And once a year, the World of Outlaws series sprint cars comes to the Cotton Bowl Speedway, and it is cool. It's quite a show. And my daughter went with us this past March, and she loved it too. My oldest daughter, Lauren. And you can see the banners that I cycle through my background back here. You know, they're different ones, but so that's probably how Brandon figured out that I kind of like, and it kind of came together with something else. And so Donnie Schatz is a legendary sprint car racing. It really, he's up there with guys like Steve Kinzer and Sammy Swindell. We're talking top of the line. If we were talking NASCAR, you'd be talking like Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon type stuff. Or if it were drag racing, it would be Don Garlits and John Forrest type, that just that level. That's where Donnie Schatz is. And I kind of like Donnie Schatz because I'm an old guy, and he's one of the older guys. He's not one of these young up and coming dudes. And so if you look, so I have on a Logan Schuchart shirt. I made a video a while back, or was back in March, about how I became a Logan Schuchart fan, and it was pretty cool at the merch trailer. His fiance and his mom and I had a discussion, and that was a fun video to make. You should go watch that. And this is a Logan Schuchart cap. So this is I guess I would say my favorite, and for a strange reason, but Logan Schuchart has been my favorite sprint car driver. But I like Donnie Schatz. I have my favorite drivers. Super late models, I like Tyler Erb because he's the only big time one from Texas. And when I first started watching the super late models, I was looking, is there any of them from Texas? And there was one, and I kind of zeroed in on him. That's how he became my favorite driver. So back to the sprint cars. This is so cool. It's a 1/18 scale Outlaw sprint car. And it is not like a cheap plastic thing. This is metal. This body is metal, and the wings and stuff it's all like realistic, and it even has like functioning steering linkage, and just great detail. It's really cool. And if you've never seen the World of Outlaws show, they go all over the United States. They travel around. There's anywhere from, in any given year, 12 to 18 full-time World of Outlaws guys, and they go to these tracks. It has to be a certain level of quality of track for the tour to come there. But then local guys come and they get to race with the big boys, right, and test their hand against. And usually the World of Outlaws guys are going to kind of dominate, but occasionally not. And from time to time, one of the local guys will get on the podium. And when I say local, like here near me, it's near Giddings, Texas, a little town of Page is where the Cotton Bowl Speedway is. There'll be guys like out of Austin and Houston and Dallas that it's 2 or 3 hour travel to come race with the World of Outlaws or something, that type of thing. And sometimes they do pretty good. There's one guy races every year. He comes from El Paso, Texas, to race with the World of Outlaws. So anyway, Donnie Schatz. What's the deal with Donnie Schatz? Well, I knew first that Brandon Jensen is from North Dakota. And I happened to know, or I knew, that Donnie Schatz his home is in Fargo, in North Dakota. But when I was reading up on him in preparation for doing this thank you, this mail day, I saw that Donnie Schatz graduated from Minot High School, Minot, North Dakota. Guess who else lives in Minot, North Dakota? You guessed it, Brandon Jensen. So that's a pretty cool tie. He put in the note, and I don't read the notes when I get the gift boxes, but he says it's like a taste of North Dakota, whatever. So it's from Brandon's hometown, the legendary Donnie Schatz. There's another piece to the puzzle. It gets even better. Not a puzzle, the rest of the story. So since the late 1980s, the late 1990s, Donnie Schatz has driven this sprint car. The team was owned by Tony Stewart, big time. Tony Stewart has raced Indy cars, mostly famous for NASCAR. He's currently racing NHRA Top Fuel and recently won his first race, which is not an easy thing to do. So the dude is big time racer, and he owns Eldora, the most famous of all dirt tracks. Tony Stewart's a big thing. And that's Tony Stewart's race team, the sprint car, this car was racing under Tony Stewart's banner. Tony Stewart was the team owner. And they parted ways, actually, 9 days ago. and they just weren't getting along, weren't synced up anymore after all those years. I guess what, almost over 25 years together, and that doesn't make this less valuable or less interesting or less cool. It makes it more, because drama creates interest, right? I mean, there's a story here that Donnie Schatz and this team and what's going to happen in the future is in the dirt racing world. That's been at the top of the news headlines for the last week or so. What's going to happen? Is that the end of Donnie Schatz? Absolutely not. He's already, like last weekend, he was in another. I mean, he have no problem finding a ride on another race team's car, and he's competing. He probably is out of the running for the season points championship this year, which he's won 10 times. One time, four times in a row. You know, he's only one of only two people to ever do that. I think the other one was Kinzer. But Donnie Schatz will still be racing and competing. And then in the off season through the winter, I'm sure he'll get set up with a whole nother race team and be totally reorganized. And they made a deal. Schatz has always been number 15, and Tony Stewart has agreed to let Schatz keep the number 15. For the rest of the season, this car, driven by someone else, will be called the 15S, and then they'll probably come up with their own number next year, a new unique number. It used to be 14 because that was Tony Stewart's NASCAR number. So I'm guessing that's what it'll be, the 14 next year. But anyway, good luck to Donnie Schatz. I'm sure he'll do fine going forward. The guy is a just supremely talented race car driver. And Tony Stewart's going to be fine too. They weren't getting along anymore, and it happens. You know, Bill Belichick left the Patriots. Tom Landry got fired. You know, it happens. Hey, they ran Andy Reid out of Philadelphia, and he still does pretty good in Kansas City, I would say. So, you know, it's just part of it. All of this stuff, whether it's racing or football or baseball, we have to remember it's sports and it's fun and it's interesting and all that, but it's also big business. And so that's the story. That's what's going on with Donnie Schatz. And once again, Brandon Jensen, Top Loaded. I got to tell you, buddy, I'm not pissed. I love it. Thank you all for watching. I hope that was interesting. I think it was a great, a random act of kindness, gift box from a great guy. And I will leave a link to Brandon Jensen, Top Loaded, down in the description. And I might even leave a link to the video where I got this shirt, why I bought this shirt, why this guy is my favorite. It goes back to the year before. And I don't know. Check it out. I will. I'll leave a link. Thank you for watching. Treat other people the way you would like to be treated. Until next time, this is Todd, and I'm out. Oh, and check it out. Donnie made it to the top shelf, and that is a high honor indeed. Thank you again, Brandon.